guys, how's it going? It's Eddie. It's the What's Up Eddie channel. We're here. This is how I start my day. Gotta get yourself a shake. You know it, you know it, you know it. Well, first, we gotta get a little dance in, right? I'm with it. And then we get to enjoy it. Ooh. How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the What's Up Eddie channel. So glad to have you guys back. And today we're going to talk about writer's block. Or is it? Is it really just video block? Because I can't get the content out. What's going on? I keep asking myself all these questions, and I realize that it has nothing to do with actually me making a video for you guys. I'm sitting here and I'm panicking. I feel like I gotta meet a deadline. I'm breathing really heavily and I don't look good on the camera. And I realize to myself, why is this going on? I'm pressing the stop button, erasing the video, going back to it, pressing play, and I'm in the video I'm trying to make a video for 2 hours and nothing's happening. And I do this for 3 days. And I couldn't understand why. What was going on? And I realized I had this bing 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 light bulb moment. The first thing that happens is I got into my head. And when I usually get into my head, it goes to really bad places. Old programming that no longer works for me. And how this looks, how it actually looks for me is the deeper issues that were actually going on. And that's why the content couldn't flow as good as I would wanted it to have been. And I couldn't, I'm writing down my ideas, but I'm not able to get it out on video. And it's because I'm in my head already. And it had nothing to do with my video content. It's where I'm at right now. And I'm coming up on 12 months sobriety. Coming up here on like 10 days, 12 days, something like that. And what it's doing is actually making me think about the things of like when I first started out and where I'm at now. And it's really, it's really hard to think about because where I was 12 months ago is so different from today. But my mind wants to think about the things that I always want to look at other people. Oh, this is what they have. This guy's got a year's sobriety, He's got a car, he's got a beautiful girlfriend, he's got money, he's got this, he's got that. And I'm not looking at what I have. What have I accomplished in a 12-month experience? I know that it's not the same as the others, but everyone has their own journey. And so I have all these external things that's going on with me, and it's really distracting, And also when I start to get in my head, I don't know about you guys, but I start getting that whisper voice, Everyone wants to call it different things, but I call it the freaking devil whispering in your ear, and it's saying all the things. And it could be just me saying it, I start talking down on myself, like, well, they don't want to hear about your content. Or, wait a minute, Eddie, you used to do drugs. What do you know? And it starts to tell me all these things that are not good about myself. They start talking about the aesthetics of my face. Start talking about my teeth. Well, you did drugs. That's why your teeth look the way that they do. And all this stuff gets me away from my connection to source, connection to myself. Gets me away from what I'm trying to do in the first place. I'm not in the present. I'm in the past. I'm usually there in the past, and that's the problem. So First and foremost, we got to get out of our heads. And how this showed up for me is I had to literally stop the recording because I was there for 2 hours at a time. Each block I tried to videotape. And I did this number where I videoed and I'd cut myself off, erase it. And I did this for 2 hour blocks for 3 days. Oh my goodness. I was getting so irate and more irritated. And then building off of what I had already going on. And it's nuts. It's nuts. So I had to get outside of myself. I had to literally pull myself out of myself. And the way that I do this is I had to go to the park. I had to get my mind away from the whole concept of making a video, whole concept of having to teach another person, because at the end of the day, all I want to do is be of service to the next person. So I go to the park and I start to meditate. Go back to the things that go back to the basics. And that's usually the easiest thing for someone to do. Go to the programming that help you in the first place. And for me, it's getting into nature, touching a tree. Now, there's a spiritual aspect to these things, but literally it's just getting out of yourself. Looking at the sun is what I did. I meditated. And then as I finally started to ask myself questions after the fact of saying, why did I get there in the first place? And these hurtful memories of the past started to come up. What I did, the wreckage of my past, And in 12 months, I feel like there's a lot of relationships that haven't been healed. And I want so badly to tell the people that I hurt that I apologize. And I forget about all the things that I've done wonderful up to this point. And it's drawing me away when it doesn't really need to happen that way. And so I come to a place where I have to look at the good things instead of the bad things. But to get out of myself, I had to start by actually pulling myself out of the situation. So it had nothing to do with me making a video. It had to do with the stuff that was going on the inner struggle, the inner tribulations that I were reenacting over and over and over again. Number 2, talk it out. You got to walk it out. You got to talk it out. You definitely have to talk it out with somebody. There is a quote that I like to go by, and it just really brings things home for me. And it says that you don't have to dance with everyone, but you got to dance with somebody. And this could be in any way possible of talking to another human being. I had to speak to someone about the problems that I was having in order to get a better idea, a clearer picture on what was going on. And when I bounced my crazy ideas off of someone else, they either say that you're on point, or they tell you that it ain't looking so good, bud, and you're not thinking straight. And a lot of us do that. But I know for me particularly, I do that a lot. So when I bounce my ideas off them, they say, whoa, stop. What are you doing, Eddie? You've got this. You got this going on for you. You got this going on for you. There's this huge list. And I don't ever see this person because someone else needs to show me this. So make sure you're talking it out. And 3, don't force it. If it isn't going to happen, it isn't going to happen. And I figured that out. And literally I figured this out in so many different ways in my life. But we're just going to, in particular, we're just going to talk about this moment, is that I was trying to force some content about the future, something that I haven't even lived up to. So I'm trying to ask the next person of what my content that I was going to talk about. I was going to ask someone something that I can't even accomplish myself right now. So, and the reason why I was doing that is because I already have the answers. I can conceptualize it for you, but I'm not actually living it. So I'm not applying it. And what I can apply to you is what I'm actually going through. And I'm in the present moment right now. I'm telling you exactly what's going on. So I find when you're more in the present, you don't have to force it. And lastly, and most important, self-love. Go ahead and say some nice things about yourself. And that's what I had to do. I had to go sit in front of a mirror, and I had to go get it from another person to remind me of who I am at the end of the day, how strong of a man I am, how I got through what I got through in my life. And that's so important. Self-love. A prayer that I've adopted, and I think it's a Hawaiian prayer. I might mess this up, but it's called the Ho'oponopono prayer, and it goes as follows. It says, I'm sorry, please forgive me, I love you, and thank you. Now you put your name in it, and I say it in the mirror. I do this every morning and every night. And what it does is it helps you to forgive yourself. Forgive yourself of the things that you've done in the past. And it brings you to the present. You're more easily in the present. It's so easy to forget about ourselves and what we're doing right now because I usually am in the past. But what it'll help us do is stay in the present. And that's all I got for you guys. I love you. Hopefully this helps. I will see you guys in the next one. Please subscribe. Talk to you later, guys.